So the Johannesburg Stock Exchange has been around for over 125 years. We operate 5 markets: an equity market, equity derivatives market, commodity derivatives market, currency derivatives market, and then we've recently acquired the Bond Exchange of South Africa, which we now call our interest rate products market. In that market we trade bonds, which is government and corporate bonds, but also interest rate derivatives like FRAs and those sorts of interesting contracts. So I suppose the main sort of thing is the equity market is the market that's been around the longest. It is the one that's been around over 125 years. The other markets traditionally developed as the South African Futures Exchange, which is what we acquired them in 2002. And we've also then subsequently acquired the Bond Exchange in 2009. So collectively we now are the only securities exchange in South Africa, and we operate all of those markets. On the equity side, I suppose an interesting thing is we ranked 20th in the world in terms of market capitalization size. The futures market is also ranked 20th largest futures exchange in the world. Another interesting thing to note is our trading technology on the equity market side. We use Millennium IT Technologies, which is a subsidiary of the London Stock Exchange Group. We use that trading technology, and it's located in South Africa in our data center. It used to actually be located in the London building with the London Stock Exchange technology, but when they moved over to the Millennium IT technology, we migrated the trading system back to South Africa. So when we moved the trading system back to South Africa, we had to upgrade our data center to a tier 3, very resilient data center. We've realized there's an opportunity now to co-locate our brokers' systems in our data center as well. So we've been looking at that business case, and we've been working with our brokers, both internationally and local clients, to gauge the sort of interest there is for it. At this stage, we've determined that we can co-locate about 140 racks in our data center. That will be limited at a 3.3 kVA power per rack. I suppose the challenge is we had to put a power limit because the Sandton grid has a certain amount of power it can supply. We can't go beyond that. So we have a cap. We can only have 140 racks. So we are talking to the market now about deploying the first part of the service, which will be up to about 70 racks. And we've got quite a bit of interest in the service, but it is dependent on client demand, and if we don't get that amount of racks, it won't really be worth it for us to go ahead with the service. So I think the key focus of this year's summit was Africa. It was really how the Brazilian, Russian, Indian, Chinese, ourselves, how we can all work together to actually get into Africa and do business and make a good, profitable business in Africa. And I think some of the key takeaways is that we were focusing on the BRICS Development Bank and how we could set up that structure jointly, but a lot of that is more on the government political side. And the focus of the summit was really to bring in the business aspects and also talk about potential tax breaks and making it easier to get visas across the different countries. We were there because we work with the other exchanges, the other BRICS exchanges in a BRICS alliance where we do joint product development. We already dual listed index derivatives contracts on the various markets, so you can trade Brazilian, Russian, Indian, etc. contracts on the JSE in South Africa and vice versa on the different exchanges. We're now working on designing a BRICS index and be able to then write products off that. So that's the next phase, and that's quite interesting. We had a workshop at the summit.